All right, good morning, good morning. Mic check, mic check. You guys here? Can you hear me all right? Can you see me all right? We got the coffee, nice. Hey, Spider-Man. Hey, E-Ticket, David, MinDrive. What's up, guys? Verve. Smart Greeks. What's up, Nico? How you guys doing? Jay, good morning. And you guys can see the screen all right? Yeah, fantastic. Okay, great. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I had to refill the coffee. All right. Well, quite a wild night. Had a good call at the open to get short. The reason I shorted that fresh XFA was because we were below the congestion DML and the envelope bottom. So we were below all that. So at that moment in time, that was resistance. And I felt like we needed to go deeper into this pocket. So what I did is I just very carefully watched yesterday's lows here. I knew that'd be a key level there. And I looked at the hourly chart, and as soon as the hourly started to break through that and the 15-minute was looking for congestion exit, that's when I went short the fresh XFA. Can show you guys. Well, I'll show you in a second, but basically, yeah, I had like a couple of trades where I made, I don't know, like 26, 2,700 each. So that account here is up 5,200 bucks almost. And I still have the $4,500 in drawdown available to me. And this is sort of a prop firm, something you guys can learn from. I will use now. You say, Andy, why are you going to take so much risk today? I'm going to take risk today because number one, this account cost me like 700 bucks or something. Okay. So that's my real risk, $700, right? Now, with that in mind, now that I built this profit cushion of 5,200 bucks, I still have the $4,500 in draw because the day hasn't ended yet. So I technically have about 9,600 in drawdown, 9,700 in drawdown in this account. And I would like to make about $10,000 more on this account today. So do you see how I can use my built up profit plus that 4,500 in draw that I still have access to? That puts a $10,000 stop against about a $10,000 winner. That's a 1-to-1 trade. If I try to pick my spot correctly, I need about 160 points. Now, good morning, Camden. If I lose that trade, fine. I lose this XFA. I got 2 more in reserve. I'm not concerned. But if I hit the winner, then I end up making about $15,000, $16,000 today, and that'll be a good day, right? So that's the way that I look at it. I will take that trade on stream most likely, so you guys can just, we can watch it together. So hope that makes sense to you guys, why I do that. I don't recommend that to everybody. So if you haven't taken lots of payouts and you're not super experienced, then, don't try this at home. And for me, I really win, lose, or draw, it's fine. Obviously, I want to win, but if I don't, that's okay too. So that's how I'm going to play that. Let's see. Now, the question heading into the open, first of all, gold, I guess, just ripped because the tariffs, the whole situation, gold is now becoming the safe haven. I'm still very bearish on gold when you look at the quarterly chart, the yearly chart, the monthly chart. So I think this rip on gold is going to get sold into, for liquidity. People are going to need the liquidity. It's going to be margin calls across the board. Bonds are now selling off. Okay, originally at the start of this move, bonds were a safe haven. That's now shifting. Everybody's selling bonds. So, now we've got a bigger problem because everybody's selling bonds and rates are pushing up very fast. And usually when this happens, that's when something breaks. So we could see that, you know, we're only, the S&P is only down like 20% peak to trough. So, you know, we could have another pretty big leg down, you guys. It's possible, especially if, you know, nobody comes on like Trump or his buddies and says, hey, look, we're backing off. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. So I think you got the narrative in place for continued weakness. The charts look very weak. I think today you're going to see weakness. We're up into this pocket now, but I would treat this. The question is at the open, are we just going to open here and now dump? Or are we going to push back up here first and then dump? I mean, it's hard to say, but I kind of think open and dump. And I might just put on my trade at the open. I mean, I need 160 points, and I got about 160 point stop. So, you know, it's going to rip one way or the other at the open, right? But we can see, let's see what we got here on the hourly. That'll tell us. So this was where yesterday when I saw it breaking through those lows right here. That's when I got short, and then I got out here, and then I reshorted here, and then I got out here again, because I thought you might see, you know, a bounce like this overnight. There's a couple of big bounces. So now you can see where the hourly stopped, guys. You know, look right here, the hourly stopped pretty much right at, you know, that broken. I say broken because it's above us. That VolPro reaction support level, since it's above us, it's still very important, but it's not support, it's resistance, right? And that is pretty much capped price right up in there. So the question is, right now with this congestion DML at 187, call it, it's kind of right where we're at right now. Is this thing just going to roll over and head back down here? I certainly think it could, and I'm tempted to put on the XFA right now. I might, because we're up near what could be the highs of the day. And if this thing just reverses and goes straight up, I'll just accept that loss, because we have a lot of reason to believe. Good morning, Aaron. Nice to see you, man. We have a lot of reason to believe that this thing's just going to be weak. So I might look for a short up in here on that XFA. And if I'm wrong and this thing just squeezes all day, then I'll take that loss and move on. And if I'm right, I'll make 15 grand, 16 grand, and I'm happy about that. That's a good Wednesday. So that's pretty much where I'm at with it. And now just waiting for the open. Oh, thanks, Nico. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, if you could like the stream, that helps. I really appreciate it. So, you know, with the hourly here, we are coming out of this. I'm just, you know, setting up the open now. Do you send out a notification somewhere when you go live? Well, I schedule it, so it's scheduled on the channel. It's scheduled for 9:15 a.m. Eastern, Tim. I don't know how the notifications work, but I think if you have your notification settings clicked, when I go live, it should notify you, but maybe sometimes it doesn't. But anyways, it'll be every single day here at 9:15 is when I'm going to go live. And then some days I'm a little early, some days I'm a few minutes late, but generally right around 9:15. All right, 2 minutes till the open. So the hourly's coming out of a pretty big flush here. We got to close above the middle of the envelope. I'll probably just sit the open out and just see if this thing pumps. I would like to short up in here somewhere on that XFA, but let's just wait and see. It could just dump at the open. I mean, we're right at this key level for sure. We're going to find out here in about 50 seconds. Everybody see my charts okay? They're moving okay? My charts freeze when I draw, guys. So watch, when I draw, now the charts are frozen because the drawing software needs, they freeze the background. Now when I undraw, the charts unfreeze. So maybe that's it, MinDrive, yeah. All right, you guys. So we're going to be, we'll have some fun today. No stress. Life is good. We're all relaxed. Got our coffee. I think Aaron trades. You guys, you got your coffee too, yeah? He saved his coffee for us, guys. So thank you, Aaron. And guys, if you haven't caught Aaron's Top Step TV London Open segment, go check that out. He's the new regular host on Top Step TV for London. I think he made about 60 ticks last night, yeah? Which on one full contract on gold, guys, that's $600. And guys, Aaron's equity curve, I mean, he's just steady as she goes. Just, it's beautiful. Very good, patient, and disciplined trader. All right, so we are open. We could dump here. I mean, we certainly could, but I'm just gonna be a little patient. I'd like to capitalize on this XFA. If I don't, that's all right. But if I do, that's cool. And remember, I need about 170 points. And I'm going to let it play out one way or the other, guys. So this isn't like a typical, hey, put my stop right behind it. No, no, this is like, I'm going to go in at an area that I like. And I've got a very wide stop and a very wide target. And it's going to be what it's going to be. Okay, hang on just one second, Jacob. I'll answer your question. I just got to watch the open here because I might take some risk on this XFA. Because guys, I'm learning, like, while I'm trading with you guys, I teach a lot, which is good because that's why I'm here. But then I tend to not trade, you know. So I'm trying to learn how to balance like my own trading with, you know, teaching at the same time and being responsive. So yeah, cool. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just learning, you guys. This is all new for me too. So I mean, I'd love this area up here. You got the hourly extension, DML. You've got these cores lined up here. You got these old highs. We've got our broken, you know, like right there, our broken VolPro reaction level at 17.5-ish. I mean, I may just short right up there if it goes there and not wait for a close. But that, guys, that's because of the situation I'm in with this XFA. So like I said, just do not try this at home. Okay. So if we get up here, I'm probably just going to short that XFA and say, hey, if we keep squeezing higher, I'm wrong. And I will show you on stream because we will do it right here. Does that sound good to you guys? And guys, if you're going to follow me, do what you got to do, but I'm not responsible for you. I'm responsible for me. I've explained why I'm taking this trade in this way, being very clear about it. You can see NQ is the only one really rallying right now. Everything else is still in the red. I really see no reason why this market should short squeeze today. So maybe just a little bit of a sweep of these highs. That's probably what they're trying to drive it up there now too. Maybe tag some stops, sweep that liquidity, and then bang, down we go. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Quality's coming through okay. The latency's all right. You guys can check your clocks against my clock here. You'll see the latency. Yesterday was like 2 seconds, which is really good. Hope the mic quality's good. I think they just want to drive it up through those highs, and that's probably where I'm just going to get short. And then while the trade's playing out, we can, you know, go over questions and all that kind of stuff. So right now I'm just watching and waiting. So if I'm ever quiet, guys, it's just because I'm thinking. Oh yeah, Aaron. Yeah, I mean, gold, 1,000 tick range, insane. We'll look at that chart in a second. I want to see that chart. I mean, look at these ranges on Nasdaq right now. Just overnight, you've got 16,730 to 17,430. I mean, 700-point range, pretty intense. Now this might be as high as we go. We'll see if we you know, if I get a 15-minute flash here, I may have to short that. That I'll wait for the close because we're not, I'm kind of hoping we can push it up here. We just need Trump and his buddies to push it up through the highs, trigger some stops, so then we can get short. Come on, Trump. Can somebody tweet him, please? He's furiously tweeting all of his buddies right now. He's like, guys, I'm going to take out the highs. You get short. We'll all get rich. Oh, man. It's a, what do they call it? A banana republic. Yep, that's what it is. That's for sure. What do you guys think? Are we going to sweep the highs or are we just going to collapse from here? I'm holding for the highs for now. Wait till I see if I can get a good short up there. But what do you guys think? We're kind of breaking through this hourly peak here. Well, not yet, but we're close. It's not a bad spot to short here at all. So I'm getting ready. The 15-minute is flashing. The question is, will this be all she wrote? Could be. Looking like it. Man, I just love a push up here. You can see the flash just got a little steeper there, the live math indicates more selling. Just watching. It doesn't look like we're able to kind of push through here. I might just have to short that XFA here soon. All right. If I'm early, I'm early. I might be, guys, but see if I get trapped here. Kind of looking like it. That was a pretty big pickup. That was the decision I had to make, guys, because we were starting to roll over and I didn't want to miss the drop. And now it looks like I might get squeezed. Oh, yeah. Wow. That's a squeeze. It's going to be one XFA down here for the count, guys. It's looking like it. Ooh, close. Guys, and if this XFA loses, we're just going to go right back to the Tradeify counts. I'll explain why I went in on this trade. Looking like we're gone. Oh, we're gone. Okay. So that was getting caught in a squeeze big time. I told you, don't do this at home. I mean, now it's going to my level. But guys, I took a risk there because we had tagged the 15-minute extension right here, right? And we had started to roll over down here. We had this hourly peak here that was holding. And at that point, when it was struggling, I thought, you know what? I think there's a good chance this is just going to roll over and dump, and I don't want to miss it. So I pulled the trigger, and I lost the trade, and that happens sometimes. So, you know, that's the way it goes. And am I upset? No, I'm not. Like that's how I trade, guys. I don't have a crystal ball. It could have easily collapsed right there, and then wow, it's a great trade. We're ending up squeezing up through these highs. I think this is probably going to be the spot where it rolls over. So I'll get my Tradeifys out. But yeah, that's. I'm glad I did it on stream for you guys because I wanted to show you. It's good for you to see also how I take a loss, right? It's good for you to see how I win, how I lose, all these things. I mean, this to me is unexpected to squeeze like this at the open. 17.2 to. I mean, this is a 300-point squeeze. I thought there, with all the negative sentiment being stuck in this pocket. Look, here's the thing, guys. I like that trade for me because I planned my day. I came into this day with the idea that at the open, I want to take a trade if I see resistance. I saw resistance. I followed my plan. I didn't get it this time. So on that particular XFA, guys, I lost about $700 of my own money. And I'm okay with that because if you look at the actual risk to reward on that trade, if my risk is $700 and I'm correct there and it collapses and I make 15 grand, you guys do the math, but is that about a 20 to 1? So you can imagine how many of these I can lose and still be insanely profitable. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Let's see what comments. So Aaron, risk to reward was worth a stab. Yeah, I mean, it's over 20 to 1. So I'm good with that. It would have been cool if it hit, but it's all good. This is also the realities of trading, guys, right? Like it's really important. Since I'm not a furu, it's good that you know that, I have ebbs and flows, and I have periods where everything's going right, and then I have periods where I'll take big risk and things don't go right, and overall it just goes like this. But this is real trading, and Aaron trades will tell you the same thing, that you go through periods where everything's working and you feel like God, and then you go through periods where nothing's working and you're like, what's going on? What am I doing wrong? And that's that's a good lesson, because I'm going to try and turn everything into a lesson. That's where people will start to strategy hop, right? So they'll do something, maybe it's working a little bit, it stops working, and then they start to strategy hop, and then they find themselves in this never-ending cycle of strategy hopping. And I think that's one of the main reasons people fail. Number one, they don't have a plan and all that kind of stuff, but you can't have a plan if you're strategy hopping. Do you see that a lot, Aaron? A lot of people just hop from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And that means that they can't handle losing internally, because the moment they start to experience some losses and drawdown, they hop to the next strategy. I bet you see that a lot too, Aaron, with people, right? Probably on your retreats, you work with people who have problems like that. They strategy hop. You're trying to get them focused, get them planned, get them dialed in. And then we'll go over some questions here, you guys. So now I've got, let me bring up my Tradeifys for you guys. We will trade those today. I'm not done. I don't let that loss, like, oh my God, I lost. I can't trade anymore. Like, I don't do that. I'm like, okay, that loss happened. It's behind me. Now I'm going to go on to the Tradeifys. Let's see. Yeah, one of my main guys who I really like a lot, Tom Hugard. He's a really good trader. I mean, he lost 500 points on DAX this morning, and like, yeah, that just doesn't happen to him a lot. But sometimes that kind of stuff happens, even to the great Tom Hugard. So I'm just opening up my Tradeify dashboard. Here you guys can see. These accounts are currently in major draw. We're down about $7, so we got to really pull the reins in here. All right, so we're going to trade these today. Oh yeah, so that's probably the short I wanted up there. Yep. So it did end up pushing there. I gotta say, now it looks obvious. Now I think it's a really, I'd like to get my Tradeifys open so I can short this. Because now I think it's a good short. Come on, Tradeify, open. Open. You got a nice 15-minute flash there. Yeah, you did break the extension on the 15, but you're still protected by that hourly extension. Oh, okay, I'm trying to open my, I'd like to go short here. Take a couple $100 risk on my Tradeify accounts. All right, I'm short. These are micros on my Tradeifys. My stop is above these highs. If we go back to these highs, I'm just going to take my loss and take it like a man. But I am short 2 micros each here on these Tradeifys. And, you know, I don't know what my risk is on this. Not much. If it goes up there, maybe I'll lose a few $100 because I'm only doing a couple micros. But now if that was potentially the high and we roll back over down to here, I'm going to try and catch a nice winner on these Tradeifys. So let's just see what happens. And look, if it keeps squeezing back up, it's just one of those days where you're like, well, stuff doesn't work today. I mean, there's just not a whole lot you can do about that. Things happen. So I've got good reasons for this short. We're in what I do think is a resistance area on the daily. I think we're much closer to the high of the day. So I like where we're at. The hourly chart here took out these highs. We've got that extension right there. We've got the cores here overlapping. So now, could the market just rip straight up through all this? Yes, guys, anything's possible. But I've got a lot of indications here that it's an okay spot to take a short. You know, in fact, a good spot to take a short. So the 15-minute gave us a really nice flash, which I'm thinking could be an exhaust for a reversal back down. I wish this is where I got in on that XFA, but woulda, coulda, shoulda is not going to help anything. And now the game must go on. So this one, you know, I fully intend to hold because the type of trading for the hourly is, you know, if we're going to roll over and head back down, then we should be, you know, headed back down to at least the middle of the hourly envelope. That would be target number 1, you know, 17,000-ish. So that'd be like a 350 point target. And then, you know, target number 2, maybe down here. So we'll just kind of have to see. I'll let you guys know as I manage it. And guys, some days, you guys will learn this too as traders. Some days you can take your shots, you can do everything right, and nothing, you know, everything goes wrong. And some days you make poorer decisions and everything goes right, right? It's like it ebbs and flows in terms of there is, you know, there are just days where things work and days where things don't work. So Jacob, I'll get to your question in a sec. Virgo Trader, good morning, Todd. How you doing, man? Strategy. So Aaron trades. We were talking about this. Strategy hopping is the reason I wasted 2 to 3 years going round in circles, getting nowhere. Exactly. And I think that so many people can learn from that because when you're strategy hopping, you're just like you're chasing your tail because you're going from one drawdown to the next drawdown to the next drawdown and never give your system a chance to work, right? So yeah, it's interesting. Always judging ourselves on a trade by trade basis, not how we perform over the months. Exactly. So that's what I try and do is like, okay, where am I at? Like every 6 months, every year, every, you know, 2 years. That's how I like to look at it. And people have way too much of a day by day basis on, you know, how their performance is. You can't look at it on a day by day basis, right? It's just not a good idea. So yeah, that's how I feel too. So Cam got in short at 17,480. Cam, way to go, man. Good spot. Next time I gotta wait to short my XFA until I ask Cam when he's shorting. He took my original level and nailed it. My stop is really above these highs. I mean, I don't want to see any of this really. Like my hard stop is up here, but I don't have one on Tradeify because I can't have brackets when I copy trade 5 accounts. this is kind of the trade idea here that, you know, this resistance here, I expect it to be strong, but it may not be strong. Let's see. I certainly don't want to muck around with it, you know, like we've got some news coming out. I mean, this core DML live out here, I mean, this is really the key area right here that I want to see holding. You know, if we really start to rip up and through that, I'd probably have to cut it. Right now, it's definitely being more stubborn than I would like. I'm taking a little bit of risk because the 15-minute closed above its extension, but I'm betting on the hourly extension resistance and core resistance here. You got the old hourly trend resistance high up there. I think we may have a little bit of minor news coming out at 10. I'm not sure. This just might be one of those days, guys. It's kind of looking like it right now. I mean, I'll just be very wrong if this thing squeezes. And there's really not much else I can say. It's looking like it wants to squeeze now. I mean, the fact that we're not rolling over here is not a good sign. We're getting close to where I might cut it. I just want to give it a little time. Nice. Spider-Man short gold. Sweet. Cam is short from 480. This is being stubborn here, for sure. All right, I'm cutting it. So I'm cutting those tradeifys because this is a tough market right now. And I just don't like that with that high being taken out, pull back in, all that resistance, flash on the 15, and the fact that we didn't roll over there, I got to just say to myself, the trade idea is not correct. So, you know, there you go. So on the tradeifys, I lost 450 bucks. And that's fine for the risk on those accounts because I've got, you know, 6,000 in drawdown. And guys, that's the thing too with the tradeifys. I mean, I look at props like these accounts I got for 2,400 bucks. And when I get all 5 to a payout, first payout is $3,000 each. That's $15,000. So, you know, my goal is obviously I'd like to get the first batch to a payout, and then you have a really nice risk to reward, right? So you put up 2,400, but you get paid 15,000. But even if you blow a couple of them, you know, even if you end up spending $6,000-7,000, but you get a $15,000 payout, that's 100% return on your money. So that's how I look at the prop math. You know what I mean? So Aaron says, I took off 980 profit off our VolPro Edge levels and your initial short analysis, quick scalp. Nice, Aaron. Good job, man. Dude, nothing makes me happier than like, okay, I'm a trader. I have my days where I win, I lose, but VolPro Edge is an independent system that everybody uses the way they want to use it. And like Aaron right there just made money using VolPro Edge, you know, taking that quick scalp. And that was very fortuitous. Good job, Aaron. Cam, went from up 100 points to stop at break even. Yeah, but you know, Cam, that's all right, man. I think you had a great entry, and you know, you gave it a shot to run. In that situation, Cam, I think you made the right choice, man. I would have done the same thing as you. I would have moved the entry to break even with that great entry that you had, and then if you know, you might have just caught a runner to the downside for 500 points, you know? So that was good trade management, good risk to reward. Jacob, cannot figure out why we're pumping with all the bad news. Yeah, it's kind of I kind of have a feeling this market's just trying to piss everybody off and then it's going to fucking collapse. That's my feeling, but I could be wrong. I mean, we'll see. I expected more resistance here. So the next key level on the Nasdaq, of course, if this reaction level here breaks, is right up here, right? So if we get there, that could be a good spot to get short for sure. I may take another trade in my Tradeifys. I mean, I kind of don't want to lose more than $1,000 in a day on those Tradeifys. Now I'm down like, 450. So if I see another really good setup, I could take it. And if I'm down $1,000 on the day on those Tradeifys, I'm okay with that. I got 2 more XFAs in reserve. So that's nice. I'll activate those in a bit. And that's also another way I do the math, guys. Like on those XFAs, 3 of them, let's say I lose $700 on 2 of them, I'm minus 1,400. But let's say I get 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 in payouts on the third one. It's like boom, I spent X to make X. That's trading. So the risk rewards on the prop firms are definitely something that I don't think a lot of people think about, and that's kind of how I've always approached it. And I've always taken different strategies at different prop firms based on, what are their evals cost, what are their resets cost, do they have a consistency rule, how much time does it take me, because time is money too, right? So how much time does it take me to get through an eval, all these kinds of things. So yeah, it's fascinating. You can do lots of interesting things, and I think, with well, you guys know the one company I'm not allowed to talk about because of, you can go back and look at my YouTube channel. I signed an NDA with that company, but, I think overall with that company, I took about 100 and close to 150K. And with that company, I probably only spent, I want to say maybe 20, something like that. And so I think in the end, that's where, that business relationship maybe wasn't super beneficial for them. If I'm spending 20, taking out 150, like, oh, what's this guy going to do next year, right? Then there's another firm I also had to sign an NDA with. Same thing happened. I think the first 5K I spent, I was already up over 60. And then they wanted to start negotiating and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I can't use the names of any of these firms. You guys can figure it out. And then, with Top Step, for example, I spend a lot more money. Number one, I like the write-offs that I get. And number two, on Top Step, I'm super duper aggressive. And because that's my aggressive prop firm. Why is that my aggressive prop firm? Because they don't have the consistency rule on the funded account. And I can get through the evals very fast. So when I look at like all of like my live trading, all my prop accounts, they're all like, for me, it's like a fund, So I treat it as a fund, and that's how I look at my overall risk to reward numbers. I don't look at any one specific segment. Hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps you guys in terms of how to look at your trading, because that's what's the most important. Dude, that's so sick, Aaron. Let's see. I'm gonna catch up here. So glad you made money on that, man. That's awesome. So I use a VP level for entry with your analysis, then use my price action to get out around 17,316. So many ways yeah, exactly. And we're only getting started. That's right, bro. Like, and the fact that you guys are already getting it and taking your own trades and having success, I mean, it's awesome. People getting to payouts. Darren locked in his first payout last night as well. Cam got his first payout. Lavino got his first payout. So, and if you guys are like taking it slower and, don't be discouraged by the people taking payouts really fast, see them as inspiration. Like that's what's possible. And some people just dive in with both feet and some people want to be more conservative, and that's no problem. That'll take a little more time. You know what I mean? Yeah, Aaron was short, Jacob. He shorted here kind of close to where I shorted, right, Aaron? But the difference is when we were up, you just took your money and ran. I was holding for a bigger one, didn't get it. We might still collapse here. I mean, it's certainly possible that this is just to shake people out like me. The hourly is about to close here. We are closing above the trend high, above that extension. Yeah, you do have that protection there. I don't know. This is 50-50 to me, guys. I really don't know. There's some things I like about that hourly. There's some things I don't like. Tough market to read. The 15 is still trending up pretty strongly. So I would say, you know, it kind of looks like it may want to keep squeezing. Look, we won't know until the 15 enters congestion to the downside. That's really what it's all about. Let's see. Where was your short? I got smoked on my short. Yeah, I got smoked on my short. I think a lot of people got smoked here on these shorts. Kay, why did you have to sign an NDA? Well, I think if I told you why I had to sign it, I'd probably be in violation of the NDA. Well, let's just say that, you know, a lot of prop firms, they're a business. They run businesses, right? So they don't necessarily like, put it this way, the business aspects of the prop firm are a lot different than the marketing aspects. Okay. I think you can figure it out on why I would have to sign an NDA, but basically it comes down to when you've made a lot of money and sometimes they don't want to pay and they'll try and settle with you. And then in order to get the settlement, to get some of your money, you've got to sign NDAs, and then it's a mutual release of liability. I'm not talking about any specific companies at all. I have nothing but good things to say about all prop firms. I'm just letting you guys know how the prop space works. Most of you, you know, at this stage in your journey, you're not gonna have to worry about that because you're not taking six figures. This starts to happen when you start taking a lot of money. I have to say, like, by and large, all the prop firms I've worked with, you know, have been great. So I think the prop model has been an amazing opportunity for all of us. It's been an amazing opportunity for me. So I've got nothing but good things to say about the prop firms. Top Step's paying very fast recently. You know, the payouts I got last week for 300 bucks, they all came within 24 hours, which was sweet. So Top Step's, you know, back on the ball, because way back when I would get my first payouts from Top Step, that would also be like within 24 hours. And then, you know, there was a period in time there where they were readjusting where you'd kind of wait longer. But now they're back on the ball, which is pretty sweet. And Top Step's very professional. I like how they run their model. Tradeify is very professional. I like how they run their model. You know, Tick. I've never taken a payout from Tick. I've only had a few accounts with them. I just don't like their dashboard. Like, it's just like the spaceships and it's weird to navigate. I just don't like it. Oh, e-ticket, that sucks, man. Sorry to hear that. Was that with like Fast Track, or, you know, the race car people? Was that with them? Aaron trades 12 a.m. here. I'll catch up with you guys in Asia tomorrow. All right, thanks, Aaron. Good to see you, mate. Get a good night's sleep, man, and great job on the short. I'm glad you made money, even though I didn't. All right, see you guys. See you, Aaron. Have a good evening, man. Thanks for being here. Dude, e-ticket, that sucks, man. Profit trade. Okay. I don't even know who Profit Trade is. I've never heard of Profit Trade, but that sucks, dude. Yeah, I'd say you got to use the biggest companies like TopStep, Tradeify. I'm sure Tick pays. I mean, I'm sure they do, but you know, you gotta be careful because you're investing money. It's like you don't want to invest money where there's no chance of it coming back. You know what I mean? And guys, let this be an example too. You see how, you know, that XFA, you know, I built up that 5,200 in profit last night, and you know, my goal with my XFAs now is to be aggressive. Like, I'm at that stage in my journey where I want to really start getting aggressive, and I'm going to take more losses for sure, especially on situations like that with the XFA. Um, and I came into that knowing that I'm okay with that. Because like I said, when you have I look at this as math. So when you have the odds of a 20-to-1 true reward for risk ratio, there you go. So you can't that's another thing too. Like for me, if I'm up $5,000, I don't see that as like, oh, my $5,000, I lost it. No, no, no. I don't see that at all. I just see like the overall structure of the trade. And I say all this because I want to help you guys. I know a lot of people have problems losing. I just lost, publicly, and I want to show you that losing is okay. It's very important. Yeah, we had a lot of those Furu props go down. I lost a funded too, no payout. Yeah, exactly, Spider-Man. Yeah, I kind of knew, okay, number one, there's a Furu. I mean, you can spot them a mile away. And then number two, they start prop firms. Come on, you know. All right, so now are we gonna dump? We got to see this. Is the 15 now finally coming out of this pocket, going for congestion entrance down with this hourly distributing? I mean, we're finally right at, we tagged that level right there, that broken support, 510. Was that the high? Almost, guys. Look, the VolPro reaction support that is resistance was almost the high. So this might be the start of rolling over now for a little bit of a move to the downside. I may short again, but with maybe less size. All right, I'm short with less size. I'm seeing if we can suck back down in here somewhere. I'm kind of just anticipating that the 15-minute could go for congestion entrance to the downside. So let's just see what it actually does. And I just put 1 micro on that particular one since I'm a little cold here to start. My stop on this is like, okay, if we go through these highs, I'm taking a loss on this, and I'll lose another $250 or something. But if we can get a move, I mean, if this starts to really dump, it could dump hard and fast because there could be a lot of longs trapped here, potentially. We'll see. That's what I'm hoping for, obviously. I'm looking for, if this starts to dump, I'd be looking for a move, back down 17,000 or something. I don't know if I'll hold all the way down there, but that's what I would like. So we'll see. I kind of wish I had recognized that a little sooner, but it's all right. Let's see. Jacob said, what are your thoughts on a long here since we pulled back near the envelope? Well, I guess since I'm short, you know what my thoughts are on a long. Look, it may go straight up and I'm dead fucking wrong again. That could happen. I just, like, there's a lot of resistance here, and if this can break hard to the downside, there could be a lot of longs trapped. If the 15 minutes, oh, okay, good, Jake. I'm hoping this 15-minute goes for like a nice hard congestion entrance to the downside. That would be confirmation here that this could roll over. We are coming out of this pocket here. E-ticket, I shorted at 430 and a quarter. Here. I kind of wish I had gotten it a little higher up. But I was kind of mouthing off. No problem. I mean, be careful with your contract sizing in these markets, guys, because, even with 1 micro, if you catch a runner, you can do pretty well. You can make a few $100. I mean, I kind of feel like we should want to push back down and sniff out the congestion DML here at 17,180, which is right around the middle of the envelope down here. So that would be kind of like my first target if we got down there. I'd have to just see what's going on if I want to take profit or whatever. If we get down there, we don't know. Or this thing's going to keep squeezing, and it's just one of those difficult days. How you guys doing today? Anybody trade overnight? I'm just watching, guys. Oh, I think Spider-Man, did you say you took a short? And Jake, we'll get to your question. You had a question about the daily. I'll get back to that. I haven't forgotten. Spider-Man was something about gold. Nice, Darren. Good. Well, not good that you lost with me, but good that you reset it and got your 50%. Nice job, man. Proud of you, man. And you're getting your first payout. So that's sweet, guys. Give it up for Darren. He's getting his first payout. Good job, man. All right, so gold, Spider-Man, where did you short? This looks pretty strong to me, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The fact that we're coming from all the way down here to all the way up here and pushing, I don't know. I like that you did it for your reasons. And, you see how it goes and you learn from it. Let's check the bonds here. Okay, yeah, they're falling out of bed because now this is actually, to start this move, this is where the correlations have shifted. Now, before it was flight to safety, and that was affecting the stock market. Now everybody's dumping treasuries and yields are spiking, and now that's going to affect the stock market. So now a continued bond sell-up is negative for the stock market. So you can see as the 10-year pushed higher here, that's why stocks got this bounce. But if the 10-year can roll over back down to these lows, then we could see some serious follow through to the downside with NQ, right? So that's what I'm looking for. So if the 10-year can kind of start dumping, hopefully NQ can start dumping back toward the lows of the day. Let's see. Jacob, I don't know where all the support is coming from. Yeah, I mean, that's support's there until it's not, right? I'm short. I'm holding. Well, at least down around the middle of the hourly envelope, which is the congestion support DML. That would be my first target. But I'd have to see. I mean, if we're really firing, I could hold it. I'll let you know. So Verve said, Andy, are you watching order flow or Delta? I mean, when we have these Sierra charts up and running and I'm able to do my pure trade, my preferred day trading setup, which is with my volume-based charts, and I use VolPro Edge, and I use the value area high and low for the day, and I use the order flow footprint in terms of the net positive or negative delta. Yeah, I use all that stuff, and I like to use it. Right now, I'm not using it because I don't think it's fair. Like, once I make Sierra charts available to you guys, then I will be streaming with Sierra charts because those are my preferred charts, and then you guys will have the choice to also use them if you want. And those who don't need volume-based charts and want to stay with, TradingView, that's fine too. So yeah, I use that stuff. I'm just not using it now because I don't want to be, you know, I want to use the same stuff you guys are using so I can teach and we can talk and whatever. And even though that does affect my performance, you know, I can live with it. It's not the end of the world. And I debated, you know, should I have my Sierra charts open on other screens? And I was like, no, I just want to use what you guys are using, you know? So let's see if we can get a move down here because in the 10-year, that would be nice. I think gold's catching a pretty good flight to safety bid right now. It's kind of the only thing people are buying. That's just, you know, my sense of it. Let's check the Dow. We'll see if the Dow can roll over here. Certainly the 15-minute tried to go for congestion entrance. So hopefully on the Dow, you'll have resistance here and the Dow could push down. That would bode well for our Nasdaq short. Oh yeah, for sure. E-ticket end of day accounts. Absolutely, man. That's why I like guys who trade with intraday accounts like Take Profit Trader and Apex. I mean, more power to you guys if you can do that. I mean, I just find it, I would find it just more difficult, you know, because the end of day, that's why I like to maximize too. Like with this Top Step account, because of that end of day draw, I was able to take big risk on that trade, right? And with big risk, if you win, comes big reward. That's why I like that. So the Dow's trying to push lower. ES went for congestion entrance, but not like a big congestion entrance. Yeah, Nasdaq's got a, that's a pretty good little support pocket right there, to be honest. I mean, I don't really want it to get above the dot zone here, guys, really. So I'm probably going to move my stop to break even. If we fire up and through this dot zone on the 15, I'm going to cut this and reevaluate because I would want this to roll over now. I would want that DML right there above us and the middle of the envelope to push price down. And if we don't, I'm going to get out at my entry at 30 and a quarter, okay? And I don't have brackets, so I just have to cut it. Let's see, maybe I can put a stop here. Oh, I'm out. So maybe it's just coming back to tag my stop and then go lower. You guys do what you want, but I just, you know, this is a tough market today, and seeing pulling back into that pocket, which could be support, and then yeah, we may just fish up and then dump, but I'm not digging it. So I took the break even on that trade, guys. You can see right there. I'm out. And I'm okay if this thing starts to dump without me. I'm good. I just like, I was looking for confirmation. Like if there was the selling I wanted to see here, then this, I would have wanted this to close down here below the envelope, and you know something like this, especially below these congestion DMLs, and then see continuation like that. That's what I wanted, and maybe it'll still do that, but this just kind of shifts the odds. Does that make sense, you guys? And is this the kind of order management stuff that you've been wanting to see? Is this, are you finding this helpful? Let me know if you guys are finding this helpful. Now, if we push higher, back up into that resistance level, and I get like a new pocket up there, I might short again. I'll let you know. Like if we were to push right back up into that pocket, maybe we do either like this or something like, then I would consider another short for a move back down potentially. But now we might just dump, you know, and I might miss it. It might have just gone back up to tag my high there. But I have reasons. I have reasons why I got out, and I'm okay. If this thing dumps without me, I really don't care, because that congestion entrance to the downside on the 15, it's just not super convincing, right? And I would want it to be more convincing than that. And then, so then that's why you don't be like, you don't play the woulda, coulda, shoulda game, because Guys, the woulda, coulda, shoulda game, oh, it'll just devastate your mentality if you're like once you're out of a trade, just as long as you have your reasons and you're out, and then just wait for the next trade. Like just clean the slate, right? So now my slate is clean. That last trade, I'm not like, oh my god, I was oh no, now I'm done. Now I'm stalking the next trade, which I still like this resistance zone. If the 15 pops up into a pocket up in here, I definitely might short again. You know, and maybe that's where we'll catch it. We'll see. E-ticket, maybe there are better trades on gold or crude. I'm sure there are, man. Like I think gold, you know, I think gold is probably going to keep squeezing. I just not like I don't trade gold that often. I'll trade it sometimes. That was a good long setup right there on gold. If somebody like if gold is your market and you see this thing squeezing like this, especially when I thought it was going to dump and it's like, nope, we're getting flight to safety. This thing's going to the moon. I mean, then you just start to look for long patterns. There's, look at that. Hourly's in congestion, perfect pocket, extensions holding. If you're there and you see that, that's a great long. I wasn't there. Um, Crude, I think crude's tough to trade overall, but especially right now. But yeah, if you see any good trades and you want to trade it, let me know. I'll be happy to review for you. We're getting a little movement. I mean, to be honest, it's been a really quiet, it's kind of been a weird, quiet day, Like, I'm not seeing anything so far. There haven't really been any fireworks. I'd love to run up and test that 500 level again into that core DML and get like a nice little pocket up there on the 15 and then try to short that. That'd be cool. I mean, we could look at, let's go ahead because we'll dial down. Let's go hour. Let's go 15. Let's go 5. Maybe this thing's rolling over now. Yeah, certainly looks like it's trying now. Coming out of that 5-minute pocket. I'm just watching you guys. Windhooker, the fact that both reaction levels are inside the envelope have any special? Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the type of trading and everything, but yeah, you're gonna see more choppiness. Like, look at this, guys. How many people just got trapped shorting down here? This is a tough market. I'm watching and waiting. Got to head out for my game today. Best of luck. All right, Cam, go get him. Are you starting or are you a relief pitcher? Guys, Cam's a pitcher. Nice, man. Good luck, buddy. Yeah, Darren, we can talk about that in a bit. I'm just stocking this now. I might want to get short back up here if this 5-minute. You got a lot of resistance here potentially. What's the 10-year doing? 10 years trying to roll. I like it. I might be willing to take a stab here. We'll see, because we're right up into that core again. I'll let you guys know. I'm watching. "30 seconds. All right, I'm short again. I wish I would have gotten it higher up. I really wanted this to close up here to give me the short up in there. That's where, you know, the volume based bar charts I think give much better entries waiting for closes. But we'll get there when we get there. I'm short from 46 and I'm just, you know, could be wrong again, but I'm just betting on this hourly core DML at 503 into these 15-minute highs. I'm just thinking there's a chance this could break down. You know, might be wrong. So far, this market's been very difficult today. Just want to see some massive selling come in. No worries, Spider-Man. It happens to the best of us, my man. All right, guys, let's see if we can just get a flush to the downside here with NQ back through those 5-minute lows. So far, it's just getting bought up every time it tries to dip. She's a wild market today. That's a big move down. Come on. I know you get like that selling that'll pound it and then it gets picked back up and pound it. I mean, definitely got a battle here. Some volume coming in. Yeah, that's fine, Spider-Man, and you're learning. And I like that you're using your analysis to find your own trades. You know, that's what it's all about. Like yesterday, you know, if you would have shorted off that ES extension level, that would have been a great short, you know? I didn't like it at the time because of what the daily was doing, but turned out to be a good short. This is the stubborn area here that we just need to give way. Because if it gives way, I mean, the longs are going to be stuck. If we can just pound to the downside here. So hopefully this can just break through this core and congestion DML and get a quick trip down here. That would be nice. But look, getting picked back up again. It's just, it's a lot of support right here for whatever reason. I'm finding it hard to trade today because the last couple days, and it's been nice. Like when you're in a move and you're right, it just goes. And now this is just herky jerky. Oh, look at that. And then just bang, straight down. This is, oh gosh. Well, I'm short anyways from 46 and a quarter, like I told you guys. So it would just be nice to see some follow through, but we keep getting picked up for some strange reason there. Now we're back right back up. I mean, I might have to cut it at break even again. I'm giving it chances. It's just not, I'm still in, guys. It's just, it's just like tricky market. I'm out, break even again. Because it may dump, but why does it keep getting picked up down there? It's a very, very difficult market to trade today. Now it may dump. Yeah, this is I wouldn't be surprised to see it dump here, but I'm out for now, guys, because I can't really make sense of what's going on. $13 EMA at 381. Every time we touch it, we rocked it up. Yep, so far. I still just feel like this market is going to tank from here, but maybe we need to squeeze higher one more time. Maybe there aren't enough people trapped. I mean, look, guys, look at this price action on the 5-minute. Look at this. I mean, this is abysmal. We'll stick around for a bit, but if this continues, this is just not a good market to trade. But I think it's really important, you guys, you get to see the realities of trading, that there are some tough days, right? And today is one of them. And not a whole lot you can do about that, you know? I mean, I'll be keeping an eye on that 15-minute extension up there. So now you guys can see a little bit more trade management style. Like, I try to give myself a chance to catch the runner, and my initial stop is usually quite wide. But if I just see something I don't like, I just get out. And if that's the case, now I'm just on to the next one, right? So I don't like, I don't have a problem, you know, taking a lot of small losses or some break evens. But when I feel like I'm not right, I'm out. On the XFA, that was a different story. I told you guys before I took that, I have a 1-to-1 trade. I'm letting this thing play out. So that was a different story. I told you before I put on that trade, like, hey, I'm not gonna like put my stop, you know, where it should be. And the reason for that is I found statistically, when you have those 1-to-1 trades, it's better to not really muck with them. But in this case, I'm actually going for a proper, you know, good risk to reward. So there we're, you know, tagging that. Is there going to be resistance there? We'll see. I wouldn't bet on it because you're breaking through that hourly core. So what do you guys think? Easy market to trade or hard market to trade? So far, Jacob, yeah. So far. So far, punishing the shorts. But this could just be another fish up here to try and get some more longs in and then slam it back to the downside. I wouldn't bet on it here, but I'm just curious watching. You know, if you have your plan, you trade your plan, like that's just kind of the way it goes. You're not going to win every day. And you know, all the gurus that say that they do win every day, they're lying because nobody wins every day. Like there's some gurus like they show their dashboard, they're like, look, I've won like 30 days in a row. Like, yeah, okay, maybe I'm like, I don't even know if that's true because there's a lot of stuff that came out in legal documents that certain unethical prop firms were actually just populating the dashboard of the Furus so they could show all these wins, and then they get people to go buy more evals like, oh wow, I could do that, and then they get a bunch of affiliate money. So there's a lot of BS out there, guys. And then what sucks about that is that people start to compare their own tough reality of trading to all the BS they're seeing, and then that's not really a good comparison. So is that going to be a good short there on the 5 minute? I don't know. I'm not going to take it because I don't want to let the tail wag the dog. But I'm just curious to see if this flash pocket extension is going to drive price back down again. I'm going to wait till the 15-minute closes, which is going to be in a bit. But I still feel like there should be resistance up here. See what happens. Anyway, so yeah, so there's a lot of stuff out there where, you know, the Furus will show things and it gets people all excited and they buy more evals and the Furu gets their, you know, affiliate commission from the prop firm and da-da-da. And here comes some selling again. It's like this market's just tempting. It's like, because I do like this 500 area, 510. I like it. I mean, look, the 15-minute, we're just going to have to keep a close eye on this because let's just get back to basics here. The 15-minute trending up, goes for congestion, entrance down, pushing now back up. So we'll see what happens. But if the 15-minute, you know, closes in a pocket here, that could be setting up, you know, especially if it's below this core DML, it could be setting up that there, right? That's maybe what could be setting up. And if we get a pocket there on the 15, I'll probably try it one more time, but I'll let you know. Believe me, I'm tempted to just get in here, but I just can't yet. I want to see this 15-minute close. What I'm looking for is what we saw the other day. Remember this, guys? This here. If you guys remember this on stream, that hourly, see how that closed above all these, but you had the true average and that core DML right there. And then if you remember, the 15-minute it did the same thing it's doing right now. This is scenario analysis, guys. I'll find it for you. The 15-minute was being very stubborn. And then here, right there, I believe that's what it was. It there? Yeah, here. So you see how the same thing, like we were trending strong. There's your pullback, congestion entrance. Then the 15-minute pops up into that pocket. Then we get a nice drop that off of that core DML right there. So that could be, you know, what's happening now. Just keep an eye on it. We're already dropping now, so. D, I can't trade anymore. Maxed out on everything. I'll catch the rest of the stream on replay. Gonna get some sleep. Go for it, D. Good to see you, man. Get some sleep. Take care of yourself. Jacob, we got smacked a couple times. Do you ever shift to just trying to catch a pullback? I feel like I struggle with knowing when to switch or stay. That comes with experience. You know, it really does in terms of knowing when to switch or stay. It's not easy. Nice, Raphael. Look, sometimes you just gotta, you know, you're reading what's going on and you get a feeling about it. You go in. So you got funded off that. Sweet. Good job, bro. So it's kind of just like finding your own way, Jacob, you know, like there's a lot of little nuances involved. What I can tell you is that if you just really study the course, the concepts, you know, the end of day analysis, the live trading room, and you just keep plugging away at it, Like you're going to find a way to get VolPro Edge to work for you the way you want to use it. And then all these other little nuances, they will come into play with time and experience. So what I'd love to see is I'd love to see this 5-minute jack back up here and give us a 5-minute close pocket and a 15-minute close pocket to go short. I don't think that's going to be happening, but that's what I'd like to see. This could be the start of the break. We'll see. Tough price action today. I mean, there's just not a whole lot we can do about this, you know? I'm sure the Furus are killing it. So now I'm just waiting to see if on this 5-minute, if we could punch back up here and maybe set up a short at 10:45 into the 15-minute pocket, into the 5-minute pocket, into the hourly core DML, and then catch a little bit of a move to the downside. Or is it going to break lower without us? We'll see. What an atrocious open. I mean, there's been really good volatility lately. Like today, we're just seeing, I mean, there's just so far, I mean, this is probably the worst open we've seen in a long time, isn't it? How are you guys trading today? We know Raphael got funded. Nice, my man. We know that Aaron trades caught a nice little trade. I took some losses. How's everybody else doing? I only got 12 likes today. Is that because I took losses, you guys? Just kidding. Oh, by the way, I drove the VolPro Edge mobile. They did increase the speed. Oh man, it's so much fun to drive now. Just awesome. Now I can get to where I need to be quicker. So Miyagi, thanks for the like, guys. Appreciate it. Miyagi, solid green day, really late start though, just making it to the stream. Well, that's great, Miyagi, if you're green. So Verve took a little wick check for 350. Nice. Good. Guys, this is what I love. Like VolPro Edge is the community. It's so much bigger than me. Like I'm just little old Andy doing my own trading, trying to teach you guys how to use it. But when you start to use it in your own way, like that's what I love. It's the voice message I put for the members yesterday. So nice job, guys. Technique took a gamble on a top step eval. I got it to 1500. I hate the 2-day 50% consistency rule. Yeah, it makes it harder for sure. No doubt about that, Technique. Yeah, I always just go for the first 50% and then the second 50%. So let's see, are you on a 50K then? Is that right, Technique? Because you got to get 3K, right? So you got 1500. So Jacob, very red day for me, trying to catch shorts. Should have risked less and walk away. I was one of the shorts getting punished. No worries, man. It happens. I got punished. You know, just make a note of it. You know, learn from it. It could have went down. It just didn't. Sometimes that happens. Yeah, 50K Technique. Okay. Went long when you went short. Good. I love it. I love that you guys are thinking for yourselves like, no, I don't like this short. I'm going long. Fantastic. So NQ15 in congestion. I mean, yeah, I'm looking for this to roll over. And still based on what I'm seeing on the daily and the hourly, I'd be looking for congestion exit to the downside on NQ. Yeah. So there you got like nice resistance now here. I might try and short back up. If we push back up here into like 65, I might try and short. Because you got a nice little pocket here. We're trying to roll over. I don't really want to short here, although it could just break for sure and not give me the chance. But I'd like a 5-minute pocket up here to try and maybe short back up into here. The congestion DML on the 15, because you got stacked here. You got the core, true average, congestion. You got, you know, resistance here. So probably just right in here is where I'd like to short, like 470. I put an order. I don't usually use orders, but I got an order at 71.75, which is kind of right by that extension. And I may be just dead freaking wrong here, but the 15 is trying to roll over. Oh, just missed my order here. Look. All right, I'm shorting at 52. Unbelievable. I think it got to like 70. Missed my order. If this thing starts blowing through that extension, I'm going to cut it. So if we start blowing through here, I'm out. Got a horrible fill there at 52 because it just missed filling me at my 71 order right there, which was a bummer. All right, I'm out. I might be done for the day here, guys, soon. I don't like this price action. And so far, the day hasn't been great, but it hasn't been terrible. And I just feel like this is not a market that I want to trade. So, you know, this may head down now. So look, guys, I'll kick around for another 15 minutes or so, but I don't think this is a good day to put on any more trades for me. I mean, this has probably been the worst open I've seen in a very long time, and I don't really know what's going on. And when you have this kind of choppy market with the volatility, so that turned out to be a good spot, but you know, it's just tough to read. When you have this kind of volatility with this kind of chop, I mean, this is just not easy to trade. Yeah, thanks, Ez. Yeah, sometimes that's how it goes, man. Well, look, guys, I guess the read was correct, but the market, this is just one of those days where it's just tough. I guess I could have had my stop a little further back here, but what are you going to do? Are the minutes today at 2 p.m., Daniel? You know, I checked a calendar and I didn't see that. If that's the case, that's probably why this is doing that. Let me check another calendar. Let's see. There's the dump. Okay, well, what are you going to do? Guys, it's just one of those days. Just one of those days. Wednesday. Minutes of Fed's March. Yeah, you're right, Daniel. Thanks, man. Today is the Fed FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. And I looked at a calendar earlier that did not show that. Unbelievable. All right, well, now here's the dump. Yeah, so Forex Factory. Okay, nice. Better being out and get a better opportunity as, yeah, I agree, man. 100%. That, like, this is not a market to take risk. Now, let's just do a quick summary. Good points, Ez. Thank you, my friend. A quick summary for me is I came into this day, I didn't know that we were going to see, this kind of a atrocious open first hour and a half with no direction, obviously, because I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know that in advance, right? So I came in with a game plan knowing I wanted to short up in here and take some risk on that XFA and try and catch a big winner back down here. It didn't work. The trade idea didn't work. So that was a loss. And I accept that because that happens. Now, on my Tradeifys, I'm down 500 bucks, and I'm okay with that because on those accounts, I'm using them to trade on stream and take B setups. And today, I think there were a couple of decent little setups in there. This is the one that would have ended up working, and it just I didn't get filled on my 71 limit order. Then it started to drop, and I got filled at 52. So then when it started to push back up here, I was like, I don't like this. Well, that's how it works. I'm really looking forward to streaming with you guys on my volume-based charts because I do feel, uh, yeah, that they're gonna be a lot better. But that's fine. It is what it is. Normally, I would have more conviction in just holding and but with all this, this is just not easy to read. And now we're dumping. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of you got it. That was kind of the move I've been waiting for all morning. From now, I'm expecting we're going to go back down to that congestion DML on the daily is kind of what I think, but we'll see. There we go. There's the dump. Now the longs are sufficiently stuck. That was just an extra long congestion. I mean, we don't typically see that. It was a long time. JT shorted 400. Nice. I'll kick around. I mean, now we're getting some movement, so might as well, right? I mean, let's see if we can get a good short opportunity. Because now I think we're back in the range. Your play is good. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was good. It was the right idea up there. It's just not easy to execute today. And the tick charts, they're kind of working. There's some bugs in there from TradingView. Yeah, very choppy. I mean, some days are just like this. It's just not a whole lot you can do. And like if because what I always try and do at the end of every day, I say, okay, did I did I did I trade my plan, or did I make any stupid trades? Today, when I like, because you can't judge your trading on your results alone. I mean, obviously you need to have good results over the long term, but you got to judge your trading on the process. Are you following your process? And today I followed my process as best I could. I guess I made a mistake here by kind of prematurely jumping out, but that same tactic had helped me a couple times back here in this chop. So I can't really, I'm okay with how I traded today. Like, I'm not happy with the result, but in terms of the process, I'm okay. Yeah, up 120 points on my last runner. Nice, JT. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for one of these runners on a micro, and then when it starts to break, maybe add another micro. I still might take one more shot. I mean, I'm willing to give myself, about $1,000 drawdown on these Tradeify accounts, more or less, in a day. So let's see if we can, so you're at that hourly. I think we want to dump back down now. So I think the 15-minute is trying to go for congestion exit down, unless this is a false breakout to the downside, which on a day like today, obviously anything's possible. But if we were to get a 5-minute, pull back up in here, I may try to get short. I'll wait for the closes. That's the one thing about the volume-based charts, guys. When you wait for the closes, because it's based on volume, you get a lot. You'll see what I mean when we start trading with the volume-based charts intraday. Some of you may stay with the minute charts. A lot of people like the minute charts, and they're working great. I'm just more of a volume guy. So min drive was in that short and cut it before it broke, but got to break even in the day. My thought was fresh start. That's good though. Yeah. It's the look, recency bias is very real, and the recency bias of this very choppy New York Open is why I, cut that trade quickly, because the last ones I cut quickly, I was rewarded for that, right? And then this time I was punished for it. So that recency bias is real. But that's just part of the game, It's like trading is not perfect. Yeah, definitely don't beat yourself up, guys. Just watching, waiting. I would say now if we got a pullback up in here, like the 5 minutes trending down, I do think the 15-minute could be exiting congestion back down to the hourly envelope bottom. So if the 5-minute is going to trend, then we would want to look for, something like this. You see how that pulls back? Boom, there's your buy, and it continues. We would want something like that on the 5-minute trending down, something like this. You see here, pulls back like that. There you catch the short and bang. So I'm looking to jump on to something like that potentially. I might take a shot as like my last shot of the day if we get a pullback like that on the 5-minute. And you always got to ask yourself, if you've had a tough start to the day, you got to say, hey, make a note. Am I revenge trading? Am I trying to get my losses back? Right? Because a lot of people will do that. And you always got to make sure that that's not your reason for your trade. So right now I've got good reasons for wanting to try to jump in. It's because I think I'm reading the structure. I'm not trying to get my losses back. That would be nice. This is more just, okay, we may have an opportunity here. So granted, these are all B's, guys. This is not the way that I trade. Okay, like I don't sit here and trade the 5-minute and the 15-minute. I'm doing it because I do see the benefit in it for you guys, and I'm also having fun with it. It's a good experience for me too, and I think you guys get to learn more when you see me execute more. So I do agree with you guys. So it'd be nice if we can get a little bit of a pullback back up in here. Oh man, my original order there at 71 just missed getting filled. I can tell you, had I got filled at 71, it would have been a different story because it would have only pushed against me by a few points. I wouldn't have cut it. But that was just, it almost got filled, knocked down. I was like, oh shit, is this going to go without me? I thought this was going to happen, but I had to do one more pump. 7206, no worries, min drive. 7206 VWAP bounce sends us up. Let's see, 7206. Yeah, well, that would be a nice pullback for us to get short technique. I just gotta turn the temperature on my AC up a little bit. It's a little ice cold in here. Nice. Are you guys having fun? I'm actually, even though I'm losing today, I'm having a lot of fun. Like genuinely. You guys want to take a sneak peek at Sierra? If you guys do, I'll bring it up and show you. Or you want me to just keep executing on TradingView? I'm happy to do that too. It's up to you guys. Let's do a poll. How do I do a poll? There's got to be a way to do a poll in here. So E-Ticket says, yes, engage with my audience. Okay, how to, oh, start a poll. Cool. Some Sierra, question mark, start poll. Okay, there's the poll, guys. You can do it anonymously. Some Sierra, yes or no? Okay, so there's your 15-minute close. Looks like it wants to exit congestion down. You know, the hourly, that's what I was looking for, that whole hour, and it happened the last 15 minutes. And that's just sometimes the way it goes, especially when you're dealing with minute charts. I can tell you it's going to tell a different story on the volume. Are you guys voting in the poll? 6 votes, 100% yes. All right, that's enough. 7 votes came in. Okay, I took the poll away, guys. You guys want to see some Sierra? Let's do it. Let's do it. Miyagi, thanks, man. Guys, every time I start up Sierra, the angels in the heavens start going, whoa. Oh, man. Look, at some point, hopefully soon, TradingView is going to have the ability to plot tick charts greater than 1,000 freaking ticks. It's unbelievable that when you go here on TradingView and you go tick, it doesn't let you do more than 1,000. That's the only thing limiting us right now. If I could do more than 1,000 ticks, I could set up these charts on Sierra exactly the way I set it up on, these charts on TradingView exactly how I have them on Sierra. But they just, you know, it's an incredible mess with these tick charts. Who in their development department goes, you know what? Let's just 1,000 ticks max is just that's what we're just going to set that limitation. Just because it's just mind-boggling. You guys, you should all send messages to TradingView customer support and ask them to increase the ability to use whatever size tick chart we want to use. Right? Because it's freaking crazy. I'm just loading Sierra, guys. Here's Sierra. Okay, there you go. There you go. What do you guys see right here? A freaking perfect pocket and a perfect extension and a perfect core DML. That's the short. That's the risk. And off you go. You catch the whole move. So, ooh, TradingView. Yep, that's how it works, right? Anyways, we need our own server to release these. Now you can see on Sierra, that's the value area high for the day. Now we're probably going to be dumping back to at least the point of control here, which is right around our congestion DML level on the daily, or the value area low. I would expect that'll probably frame for the rest of the day. So I would be looking for shorts up into here as we head back down. So we'll watch the 10,000 volume chart, and you can see on the 10,000 volume chart, this is, you know, we've got 4,300 contracts. Here's our delta footprint. Oh yeah, the delta shift as well. It's incredible. You guys want me to stream with Sierra? We'll make a lot more money. I just feel bad using it until you guys have the opportunity to use it. I just want to make sure it doesn't confuse you guys if you're using the TradingView, minute charts. You know what I mean? All right, so let's take a poll. This will be like a real poll. I will use your feedback. So far you guys are saying yeah, but let's just do a poll. So even if you said yeah, please vote in this poll. Should we stream with Sierra volume charts so we stop losing money like idiots? Okay. Should we stream? Start poll. Okay, guys, please, you got 23 of you in here. I would really appreciate it if all 23 of you could vote, and please vote with your heart. Like vote with what you really feel, because I'm just telling you how I feel. Okay, we got 15 votes, but we still got 7 more people in here. Keep voting, please. Yeah, I'll just tell you the results of the poll in 1 second. We got 18 votes. So just a couple more votes. I'm looking to maybe short up here, guys. If that 17.4 level holds, I'm going to short on close. All right, I'm short. If this loses, I'm okay with it. My stop is behind this high. So far, I'm not digging this, but let's see. This market's just being stubborn today. It's just you're not seeing those quick moves like we did yesterday. So my stop is above that high, guys. And then we'll look at the pull. I wish Tradeify would just let me put bracket orders in. It's just incredibly frustrating to have to just watch it and do everything at market. All right, I'm out. Not my day here. Lost like $100 on that. Could still go down. See, because I got to figure out with Tradeify how to put the stop where I want it based on what I'm seeing here on Sierra. So I'll figure that out. The reason I took this short, and I still don't mind the short, is because you're trending down. There's your congestion entrance attempt. I think there should be a lot of resistance here for a move back down here. And does anybody know on Tradeify or on Tradeivate, do you guys know how to adjust the scaling? Because every time I try to adjust it, it just keeps the chart, and I can't like make this wider so I can actually try to, I can't put a bracket, of course, when you're copy trading, but if I could put at least just an order, then I can put it where I want it. And I don't have to like, oh, the market's going to go through a level. Okay, out at market. I don't like using this button, but I can't adjust this scaling. Maybe zoom out. Is that doing anything? So I got to zoom in. Maybe. Is that what we're talking? Now that zoom in is not working. I'm gonna just check you guys' poll here in a second. Anyways, I'll figure out all this crap. Doesn't matter. I think there's a lot of resistance up here. Okay, I shorted again, and now I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to put the stop where I want it, but I can't. See, that's where I would have wanted my stop and still be in that first one. I just can't see. Oh God, now it's drawing for me. So I don't want to draw. Unbelievable. I gotta say, I do not like the Tradeivate trading platform. I don't know if you guys like it. I really don't like it. All right, this is the original trade I wanted to take. The stop is at 405. So we've got 20 votes, 90% yes, 10% no. Okay, that's a pretty overwhelming note there. So I'll tell you what, I'll still do the end of day analysis with trading with Tradeivate, since that's what you guys all have. But we will start live streaming with these charts because I just can't, like I know for 100% fact my day would have been entirely different and I would be in on this move all the way down here. And now instead I'm trying to get short here because I think maybe we're going to continue back here, but maybe I'll just take my last loss for the day and be done. And then tomorrow's a fresh start with the volume charts. So, and that's it. That's a learning experience for us all. I'm going to catch up on comments. So, yeah, the poll was 20 votes, 90% yes, 10% no. I ended the poll and I'm out. Okay, nice. So I'm down about 700 bucks on the day on my Tradeifys, which is fine. Let's see here. Let's see. Perfect alignment in Sierra. Yes. Use it. Yes. Definitely. Yes. Soon as possible. Yeah. You'll learn how to use it better. Read it. Okay. Mobile. Yeah. Yeah. If you trade in the mobile technique, then yeah, TradingView is better for that for sure. Yeah. My stop was above the high there, e-ticket. And look, we're squeezing back into the range now. That's a tough trade. Yeah, why is it so choppy? Yeah, I don't know. This is just a shite day. Not much we can do about it. Let's see. Positioning for the afternoon, possibly. Yeah, we got the FOMC that Daniel reminded us about. You need to use Ninja with Tradeify. Okay, maybe that's it, because Tradeivate sucks, especially when you're copy trading. You can't I'm sure I'll figure out how to adjust the scaling, but it's just not, I don't know. I don't like Tradeivate. Jacob, just to be clear, all these trades are for teaching you guys. I'm trying to pick good spots, but no, I'm not being super picky right now. I'm just like, fuck it. I want to trade, show you guys how to trade. I'm still waiting for A setups. Like, I would say I really liked the XFA trade at the open. That was a very good setup. I liked that resistance zone. That was the spot to try to take some risk. This setup here, that would have been, I think, like a B plus for sure. That was where to catch that move there, definitely. This trade here, I would say, was probably like a B. At that point, I thought we could definitely continue to roll back down here, but we didn't. So, I mean, I'm not taking terrible trades, but I'm not being, incredibly picky. But, still, we're going to make money with me taking these types of trades on average every day, especially on these charts. So I hope that answers your question. What are my thoughts about binary? Do you mean like binary options? Yeah, Jacob, I would probably wait to do the tick charts on Sierra if I were you. I'll let you know, my developer's trying to get our synthetic tick charts finalized for TradingView, but TradingView is a very buggy environment. So I'm working on it. And if they work, we can use them on TradingView, because I want people to be able to use them on TradingView. But they may not work. So I'm doing my best. I think we're going to get them to work. Then the question is, how buggy are they? Because we don't want to be dealing with bugs while we're trading. Yeah, exactly, Mindrive. That's the problem I see with Tradeivate. Like, first of all, you can't use OCO brackets when you're copy trading, which is like insane. And second of all, like, you can't even the chart is so smashed together. I'm like, I want to open that up so I can put levels. So should I have premium Tradeivate? Now I think Tick needs another, so gonna wait for Sierra. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. If for the Tick charts, I mean, look, in my opinion, once Sierra is ready, unless you just love TradingView, if you want to have, dial in on the volume-based charts and all that, I mean, Sierra is a way better platform. It's actually cheaper for what you get. You get all the footprint data, you get, the great volume-based charts, you get all this stuff. And as long as you just put 100 or 200 bucks in a US brokerage account, a futures brokerage account, you let it sit there, then you can say, yeah, I got a brokerage account, and with the data and everything, with Sierra, you'll pay like 50 bucks a month. So with TradingView, you know, for 50 bucks a month, you don't get anything close to what you get. So Sierra is actually cheaper. Yeah, this is a guys. Also, too, there's just no for me. There's no excuses. This is a tough day. Like this is just not easy to read. That was a great trade right there. That was the one. Um, but other than that, I mean, this is just not easy. Some days it's just like that. Yeah, AMP is easy to set up. So yeah, exactly, Jacob. So if you put like 200 bucks, I think, in an AMP futures account, and then you just connect it to Sierra charts, boom, you'll get the cheap data. And then you get the whole Sierra setup for like 50 bucks a month. And then your AMP money just sits there. You don't even trade it. It's just that gets you the cheap live data, you know? So now we're kind of pushing back higher here toward the value area high of the day. You can see with VolPro Edge, we rolled over. We're pushing back here. I would like this to adjust into a pocket. If that adjusted into a pocket, I might have to take a short for you guys. I mean, I still got 250 bucks left in my Tradeify budget for the day until I'm down 1,000. Supreme got stopped. Yeah, well, this is tough. This is tough. It's like but I think there could be a short up here I might take. You know, but I'd like to see this push a little higher and give us a pocket here like this. I'd like to see this red line shift from here to something like that. No, I'll use TradingView, Jacob, in the end of day analysis. It's just that I think when we're live streaming, if we actually want to make a lot of money together, then I should trade with Sierra. But the concepts are still the same. Like if you're trading on TradingView and you're looking at your minute-based setups, because a lot of people will like the minute-based setups. I'm not saying the volume's for everybody. It's just what I'm used to. And I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be trading in front of you guys, like I would prefer to make money. Not that I wouldn't make money on TradingView. I would, but I will make more money on Sierra because the reads you get and the risk management you get is a lot better. Does that make sense? So I'll still do the end of day analysis on TradingView because that's what everybody's using to set the day. And then I'll still have it open during the New York session. And if you guys want, you know, I can have TradingView here that you can see, and I can have Sierra off to the side. You know, whatever helps you guys the most. I would just prefer to execute my own trades based on my intraday volume-based charts for Sierra. Because at the end of the day, everybody's going to use VolPro Edge where they want to use it, but I love using it on Sierra volume-based intraday charts. That's like my bread and butter. But I've talked to some people in the VolPro Edge community, and they're loving using it on their minute-based charts. That's great. Like, you know, each person's got to do what they got to do. So look at the squeeze here. We got the delta is very negative, and yet this thing is just pushing higher. But I still think you're going to see some selling coming up here. I mean, I really don't think we're going to see a super short squeeze the rest of the day. I could be dead fucking wrong, but I think you're going to still see some resistance up in here. So it could be some resistance right there. I'm going to watch. We're kind of in the middle of this range. But I think you're going to see some resistance here. But I'm not going to take anything because we're in the middle of the range. We're not back near the value area high. So let's see. So Verve, the whole appeal of VolPro Edge is volume-centric analysis. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to run it on the volume-based charts for sure. Yeah, thanks, Mindrive. I appreciate that for sure. Yeah, I'm doing my best for you guys to try and like bring it all together. Binary options, is it more a scam? I think binary options are probably a scam. There's probably huge spreads on those. They probably make it very difficult to make money. So I think so, Arshia. So Jacob says, if we were just trying to focus on the A plus setup, should we just be observing until you say, okay, guys, this is an A plus setup coming up? Yeah, you can do that. If you want, remind me every time I'm taking a trade, because I forget, I'm in the zone. I'm trying to analyze and teach for you guys and then call out trades. So Jake, every time I'm stocking a trade, if you want to just put in the chat, like, hey, Andy, can you please rank this trade for me? I'll be happy to tell you what I think it is. And then you can make a decision to take the trade based on that ranking. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Yeah, because like today, I would say there haven't been any A setups. There's been, you know, that was like I said, a good solid B plus or something. I would give that a B. The one I took at the open on the XFA, that was sort of a special situation where I thought there'd be resistance there on the daily. I knew I had a really wide stop and a wide target, and I wanted to try and use that opening volatility. So if I caught it in the right way, I would make, $16,000. So was that an A setup? Maybe not A, but it wasn't a bad setup by any stretch. I thought there'd be more resistance there, and there just wasn't. Um, so yeah, but I mean, this is just when you're day trading. I mean, it also depends on what your style is, right? Like a lot of people just love, you know, using VolPro Edge with like Scalper. He uses VolPro Edge on his, I believe he uses 1 minute or 2 minutes. I don't know what he uses, or he's using 5 minute or 15 minute to confirm his EMAs, and it works great for him. Like so, for him, he won't care about the volume based charts, right? But then there'll be a lot of us that do care about the volume based charts. How can you set up Sierra to trade from not using Rhythmic? You mean for the data e-ticket? I run the Teton data, the Teton order routing, which is like Sierra's own in-house data. It's probably the best data I've ever seen. So that's why I don't use Rhythmic with Sierra. So, all right, guys, this is I would say looking at this market here, you just looking at the volume, just a bad, just a just a tough market. Although we did get at least a great setup that we missed because we weren't on volume. But if we look at, the 15-minute chart here on TradingView, I mean, this is also just this is a mess. This is a mess. So I'll tell you what, when we trade live, I'll use my Sierra because that's what I want to use. Um, but I will, of course, I'm do the end of day analysis always for you guys on TradingView because that's what you guys have now. And I want you to be able to match up your end of day analysis with my end of day analysis. And the end of day analysis is very, very, very important, right? Because that shapes what we do for the upcoming day. And then just during the day, if I've got, I'll just toggle back and forth between, TradingView and Sierra charts. And you guys who are using TradingView, you can chime in the chat like, hey, I'm seeing something on a 5 minute chart or this or that. Can you take a look? I'll just bring it up and tell you exactly what I see. I just think for my own trade execution, Sierra is going to just give me back my accuracy that I like. So if that sounds good with you guys, I think that sounds good with me. Doing my best to kind of bring it all together and teach and trade and all that kind of stuff. Um, let's see. So have you experienced any considerable slippage or latency? With Sierra, no. Sierra is awesome. I never like I've never had a problem with Sierra, not even once. It's that unbelievable. Um, TCOM with a prop company. What do you mean there? E-ticket? TCOM? Technique Ninja Trader Tradeovate has random glitches pretty often. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of. I gotta say, guys, like you know, Sierra out of everything I've ever tested is definitely where it's at. TradingView, I think, is a really good retail platform. I think it's doing what we need it to do. It's getting you guys off to a good start because you're learning how to use VolPro Edge, and then once Sierra's ready, you'll come right on over to Sierra, and you'll have already taken the course. You'll have already studied the charts. And for those who want to stay on TradingView, that's fantastic. It works great on TradingView. It's just all about personal preference. Let's see, MinDrive. If you hook to a prop firm, you just sign in for the platform only and leave the data as Sierra Denali, and it works that way. E-ticket. Oh, okay. So E-ticket was asking about if you're going to hook it for the prop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they've got I think there's YouTube videos on that if you want to run it. Use TCOM data with Sierra. Oh, yeah, it's Denali. It's like Teton. Teton, the Teton data. But yeah, what MinDrive is telling you is how it works. So you can plug, guys, once we have VolPro Edge ready for Sierra, most of the prop firms work with Sierra. You can execute your trades directly on your Sierra chart with VolPro Edge right there, which would be awesome. So that'll be cool. So it's 11:30, guys. We've been at it for like a little over 2 hours, and I think I'm pretty much done. It's been choppy as hell. Probably like what Daniel said, we're waiting for the FOMC minutes. So, but to be honest, I would have traded, the FOMC minutes. Some days it can be choppy waiting for those minutes. Some days it moves really well waiting for those minutes. You really don't know. I probably would have still taken my XFA short at the open because I really liked that resistance level. It just didn't work. And then these other small trades, it is what it is. It was a choppy day, and I'm just gonna accept it and come back later with the end of day analysis, and come back tomorrow and keep streaming and keep moving forward. So that's what I'm gonna do. So you guys got any last minute questions here before we jump out? I'll give you guys a few minutes if you want to throw in some questions. Let me know. Thanks, Jason. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks to all of you for being here. And we're finding our way. We're doing it together. And it's awesome. I'm settling in. Funny enough, I I felt very comfortable trading today in front of you guys. It was the first day where I felt comfortable just trading, and if I lose in front of you, I don't care because losing is part of the game, and I think it's really important to show you that losing happens. Now, it doesn't happen like a lot, but when it happens, it's okay. And then you just kind of take it and roll with it. And if I can teach you guys that and set my own ego aside and don't feel like I have to show you guys like wins all the time, that's better for me and better for you. And that's how I felt today. It was like, yeah, no, just we're trading, you know. Verve23, are you gonna surf today? I hope so, man. I really hope so. I'm feeling finally a bit better. I think the ivermectin kicked out the COVID flu thing I had, and now I can get back to running and surfing. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna surf today if the surf is good. I can't wait. AB Spider-Man, good stream. I'm locking in that loss on gold. No more trades for me. Better shot next time. Yeah, this was a tough day. I mean, one of the harder days I've seen in a while, and that happens, you know. Technique, thanks. You're doing great. Thanks, Technique. I appreciate it, man. doing my best, and I'm sure, as with anything, we're only halfway through our second week. So as I start to get more and more in the groove, everything's just we're finding our way. It's a lot of fun. Miyagi, thanks for the stream, filled with solid knowledge on VP. Streaming is hard, trading hard, streaming, trading very hard. Exactly. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's true. People don't realize that like trading is extremely hard just the way it is, right? But when you're actually streaming, teaching, and then trading in front of people, yeah, it stacks the difficulty on itself. But I like the challenge, and I know it's going to go great. So yeah, I don't have any reservations about it. I just got to like get comfortable managing everything, and I got to figure out these damn Tradebate charts for Tradeify. It's annoying, but I'll figure that out. Min drive, I really need to be comfortable with losing. I'm still short, held into drawdown, and still holding and breathing. Nice, man. Where'd you short from? Did you short up here on the 15-minute envelope top? Not a bad spot at all. On Sierra, see, and I'll do this for you guys during the day. We're going to look at both. I'll analyze. I want you guys to be able to use VolPro Edge, wherever you want to use it, on the minute charts for TradingView or on the Sierra. So I'll just toggle back and forth. I literally have not used my Sierra, guys, since we started doing VPE together, because I literally just didn't want to like cheat. I wanted to just use what you have. And now just today with this price action, I was like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm like, I got to start taking a peek at my Sierras, especially during the live session. So we'll just toggle back and forth between them. And I think that'll be great. So you got ES at 514 min drive. Let's take a look. Nasdaq 17,360. Yeah, right here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, do what you got to do. I'd be careful. You're kind of right in the middle of the 15-minute. This is a shit zone, and you're in the middle of the shit zone. So look, if you're seeing something I'm not seeing and you feel conviction in the trade, don't let me skew you. But I think this is a dangerous day and a dangerous area overall. So I'm going to cut it for today, because I just think today is just crappy, and it's better just to let this thing work itself out. Yeah. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And yeah, I'll be in the chat, throughout the day, checking you guys out. I'm going to leave my charts open. Like if something amazing happens, I'll tell you. I've got no problem continuing to, trade at least my Tradeifys. I'll let you guys know. I'm trading the Tradeifys just on micros, teaching. That's kind of like my teaching account. So, yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. I got to activate 2 more Top Step XFAs. So if I see something great at FOMC minutes and I'm going to take another fresh XFA trade, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so monitor the trading chat in the Discord, because if I see something later I like, I will tell you that I'm stalking it and maybe what I trade if I trade it, right? So. All right, thanks you guys. Okay, so min drive, you're banking on the drop, but agree, no conviction other than we open in the middle. Okay, yeah, follow your gut, man. You never know. Like, look, right now it's dropping, right? So you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, you guys, thank you. See you. I'm gonna cut it. Great stream today. I enjoyed it, and yeah, be back later in the chat. End of day live stream, or end of day analysis, and then also the Discord chat. Sorry, I was thinking of something there. The Discord chat. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. See you guys. Bye.